Well, let me make sure I can see comments. I just had it all set up and then hit the wrong button. How is everybody? Come on in and tell me where you're watching from. Okay. Hello, welcome back to our studio. We're going to be making a custom order today. Somebody had ordered a winter wedding wreath. Not necessarily so wintry. She wanted more of like a Christmas vibe, but she wants it for a wedding. So we don't want to put like red, black, blue, you know, nothing like that. She wants it like creams. Actually, she said white or cream, and then also some gold. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And I thought I would just go ahead and turn on the video so that we can do it live for you guys. How is everybody? Where are you watching from? And then tell me also, have you finished your Christmas decorating yet? Or have you not started? Put like red. Georgia in the house, Houston in the house, representing. We've got Illinois and on TikTok. Okay, awesome. All right, this is the wreath base that we're going to be using. It is a 24-inch pine wreath, and I'm going to go ahead and create my loops. So we're going to do 2 loops with this. Here is the table. So again, if you're on TikTok, switch over to our YouTube channel if you want to see the table, overhead. What we're going to do is first make our bows. Okay, I'm going to do this to hold my bow, and get my wire ready. All right, so this is the ribbon selection that I chose. Just wanted more of a like wedding look. Okay, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so that you can see a little bit better. I'm going to start with my 4-inch ribbon, and then I'm going to use my 2.5-inch ribbon. Hopefully I have enough ribbon of that. Okay, and then I've got my wire here. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and give this a little dovetail on the end, just like that. And we're going to measure out roughly let's do 20 inches. Let's just do 22. Will give us some options. I'm going to go ahead and pinch and pleat this into my 2 fingers right here, my pointer finger and my thumb. Okay, pull this out. I'm going to make my first loop. So this one, let me see, I wanted to do, let's see if this is going to hold. I wanted to do 16-inch loop. But this is, yeah, I think that'll be good. Okay, so we're going to do 16, which is going to be 8 inches if you're using a bow maker, okay? So we're going to pinch and pleat here, just like that. And then we're going to twist. Lay it down on our mat, and then take it back away from us. So we're just doing 2 loops of this ribbon. Okay, twist, and then I'm going to cut. Now I'm going to switch to my 2.5-inch. I'm going to do a somewhat long tail. Pinch and pleat. I'm trying to decide if I want to do the same. going to bring it in by about an inch. Okay, so that means 14 on my mat, 7 inches if you're on a bow maker. All right, pinch and pleat, and then we'll do the same thing. Okay, so we've got 2 loops. We're going to cut this. And then we're going to mix it up. Okay, and then let's see, what do I want to do next? Let me get that pin out of there. Y'all, I have not decorated my house yet for Christmas. I am trying not to get stressed too much. Does it feel like we need another ribbon here? I think I'm going to just pull this over. I feel like we need another 2.5 inch. All right, we're going to do that here. So we're going to do this as 7 inches. Usually by now I have completely decorated my home from top to bottom. And usually by now, all I'm waiting to do, not waiting, but getting done is my banister of my staircase, which is like so big. We are blessed to have a really big staircase, and I like to have it all decked out. But it also, you know, it's pricey to do the whole staircase. And so usually I just do the lights and the greenery and then really pretty fancy bows like this in order to give it a lot of glam. I'm a glam Christmas decorator, not the whimsical or cutesy. That's my style at home, is glam. All right, so now I've got another 2.5 inch. I like that better. Okay, now we're gonna move into our 1.5 inches. And I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, I did want to incorporate something really bougie because it's a wedding. I like that. Okay, I like that. And then I also have this one that I'm just gonna look at. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. This one feels like more, oh, I did have this one too I could have used. Ooh, all right, let's just do this one. Okay, we're gonna go with this. Very thick. And I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm starting to do a little bit lower, like smaller loops is what I mean. This is so heavy. It won't it's pulling my bow maker, my ribbon holder. I think I'm going to do this one 6. That looks the same, doesn't it? Okay, I'm going to do 1. It's hard to twist this one. 2. Goodness. And I'm going to have to be really precise getting around these gemstones. There we go. All right, so we've got 1 here and 1 here. Okay, don't give up, don't give up. It's going to be a little tricky sometimes. You're just going to keep at it. Okay, we've got that. All right, now let's do this one. Just going to bring in more of that white right to the front. This one's got a little iridescent shine to it. I'm going to do 6 inches. and then cut. I'm just going to do one loop of that. Okay, I'm just going to make sure it's all shaped. Don't forget, you can always add more loops later when you put it on the wreath if you need it. Okay, there's where we're at. And I'm going to turn it over and put my florist wire on. Lift up your finger, rotate it around. I'm just going to get my wire even. And pinch, pinch, pinch. You could use a zip tie if you need to. North Texas, welcome Stormy. Hello Missouri. Welcome. All right, here is our bow. Okay, there's bow one. All right, now I'm going to do another bow. I'm going to measure on my wreath. Okay. I feel like it needs to be 7 inches. Hold on, just let me look and measure. I'm measuring on my wreath base right now. I want it to be somewhat smaller. All right, we're going to do 7 inches, and then I'm going to cut. Okay, we've got that long tail, and then we've got that little mini tail, and we've got our 7-inch loop, okay? So now I'm going to switch ribbons, and I'm going to do this one. Actually, I want this one to be the long end, so we're going to do this one next. We're going to do 7 inches. Okay. Twist. And now we'll do the white. There's that. Pauline's happy I'm making a wreath live. Yay, me too, Pauline. Making all these relatively even. All right, what now? We've got that big ribbon. This definitely needs to have some drapage. Let's go ahead and do let's do this one first. And we'll do some white to off balance or balance that side. Let's do 7. Okay, and we're going to trim that. Don't get frustrated with your, also I was going to just want to let you know, remind you, you know, there is really no right or wrong way to make a bow. You find something that works for you. You know, don't let anyone tell you that this is the only way to do things. That's not how you create. That's not being creative in your creative spirit, is it? Right? So we just do what we think is the best for what we want to create. Just trying to see how long I want this drapage to be. Man, this thing is like thick. Do y'all see how thick that is? That is so thick and heavy. I want it to be, wow. Okay. All right, so now we've got this one. Let's get it shaped a little bit. All right, we want our loops in the front of our streamers. So this one's over here, this one's here. Streamer, loop, streamer, streamer, loop, loop, streamer. Okay, now turn it over. The same thing with your florist wire or zip tie, whatever you prefer. How is it that I only have one? Oh no, there's two. Okay, twist. Hi, Justin. First time here, Anna, welcome. Hi, Jenny. Hey, guys. All right, so now we have another bow, okay? So this is gonna be, I'm calling this our mini bow, although ain't nothing mini about it, is it? She looking pretty. Isn't that fun? Okay. Now, we're going to put our ribbon somewhat away. You can always use your ribbon later for filling in, adding streamers, adding a specific color where you might want it. Hello, Catherine from Connecticut, London, England. Hey, Sarah, are you going to be joining me next summer when I'm in Liverpool? I'm going to be in Liverpool next summer. I hope at a retreat. I hope you're coming. Right here, look, just a close-up of it. Oh my gosh. Isn't that fun? And can you see the thickness? It is so thick. You can find this kind of ribbon wholesale. That's the only place I know of right now. Maybe you could try Miss Casey's Christmas store. They might sell this type of fancy stuff. Usually an interior decorator would also carry stuff like this. But this one, you could try Greenery Market for ribbon like this, Greenery Market. This would be something like Deco Exchange or Trendy Tree. So there's different places for different things. When I first started teaching, people thought that you could just go to one place to get ribbon, or wreath making, I should say, wreath making supplies. And that is not how it works, friends. It is more of a, let's see if I lower this. It is more of a get something specific here, and then you go someplace else for something, you go someplace else for something. So you don't necessarily get everything exactly in the same place. Unfortunately, you shop around for different things. Okay, this is where I want my bow to go. This is the part where people typically will get frustrated, but I promise you, if you just give it a little bit of effort and have a little patience. You'll be able to master it. All right. So now I've got it in the place that I wanted. I'm just going to push it in a little bit deeper. Secure it on the back 1, 2, 3, 4 times around. Okay. Now we're gonna fluff it. Make sure everything is in place. Okay, now I'm gonna look at my streamers. I like the loops. I'm going to just look at my streamers. Sometimes you have to just push these branches down and behind it to get these to lay the way you want them. Okay, this is kind of long. I might even move this. Let's just cut this one. I'm not going to dovetail. I'm just going to angle cut this one. All right, here is the longest one. Will it hold a curl? Let's just see. It will. All right, I think I'm going to move this loop up a little bit. I'm going to use my needle ties on my wreath just to keep it in place. Let's move this streamer back here, and I'm going to dovetail right here. Okay. Oh dear, what's time? What am I missing? What am I supposed to be doing right now? Anybody else do that? You line up these alarms and you're like, what was I supposed to be doing? Okay, I'm going to dovetail right here. Okay, where do we want this one? We've got that. We're going to just move this one back here, I think. Use the needles in the wreath to hold your streamers in place. All right, this is the big, heavy one. Okay, it took a little effort. We got bow number 1 on. You never heard of a wedding wreath? You never heard of a wedding wreath, Diane? Is this, girl, you never heard of a wedding wreath? So you have a wreath for anything, like any occasion. You can have a wreath for, you know, bar mitzvah. You have a wedding, you have wreaths for new babies. You have wedding, you know, a wreath for sympathy, right? So you could have a wreath for literally any life event that's happening. I don't think it's just, it might just be a Southern tradition. I don't know. I mean, has anybody else not heard of a wedding wreath? I'm not trying to make you feel bad, Diane, by not thinking about this, but I just was shocked that you said it. I'd never heard of somebody saying that. I mean, I guess if wreaths are not prominent, I I know some states, they only put up Christmas wreaths, which we are working hard to change that tradition. But we put a wreath up for literally everything. Any life event that's happening, you can have a wreath. Okay, we're gonna move. I think the trickiest part with people is positioning your streamers, and the only reason I feel like they struggle is because they just don't give it enough, enough time. Just give it a minute. Don't get discouraged. Keep at it. Because there are times when you're like, why did I choose this ribbon? It is so thin. But no, just keep at it. You can make anything look good. We are professionals here. That's what I'm telling my Wreath of the Month Club group all the time. We are the professionals. Okay, from here, I'm going to mix up my color combinations. We've got that up here. Let's get this one over here. Sorry, I got my back to you, but that's the only way I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so when I roughly like what I have, I'm then going to go and give the streamers a little haircut. Now, I know a lot of people freak out about that because they think that it is wasteful. I don't have a poverty mindset like that. I have an abundant mindset. I think that I would rather have options than to make something too short and then have to take it out or throw it away because it's too short. Right? I'd rather have to cut off a couple of inches on the end than to waste a whole like 6 or 8 inches of a streamer. Does that make sense? So that's the way I look at my wreath making. And you measure with your heart on this, honestly. What works for one wreath might not work for the next. And even if you're trying to duplicate the exact same recipe, things are going to be slightly different. Okay, here's our big Mamma Jamma. Here's our big, luxurious, expensive one. And then we're going to dovetail this right here. Okay, and then I can add another streamer right there, or even another loop if I wanted to, but we've got 2 loops. Jenny says our wedding wreath was one of her first sales. Yay! Yes, okay, so a housewarming gift, thank you. Absolutely, that's another one for Bonnie says wedding wreath is new to her too. Well, good grief, you guys are learning something today then, aren't we? Hello from North Carolina. Yay, Bonnie, welcome. Okay, so now that we've got, to me, you know, we're established our line. This is what I say to our Wreath Making of the Month Club members all the time. We have to establish our form, which is a fancy word for saying shape. We have to also establish our line, which takes our eye through the design. So here you could see that we're already creating that with these 2 bows, and we've got balance. I know this bow is bigger, and that was on purpose. I wanted this one to be just a little bit smaller. So we've got our focal and then something that just to draw our eye down. Do you see how that works? We also, just to let you know, we are running a sale on Black Friday sale, teaching various styles of wreaths. We don't have a wedding wreath on there. This is this one, but we do have Christmas, we have fall, we have teardrop swags, so we have swag wreaths, we have various styles of wreaths, round wreaths, we've got moss covered wreath bases, we have Christmas trees and garlands and What else? Just so many different varieties of tutorials available. And that is our Black Friday sale. So if you were watching on TikTok, go hit our link in our bio that says Black Friday. What that is, what we've done is we've taken and we've bundled these tutorials together so that it is 3 videos, and then you, oh, I meant to grab another type of pine. It's bundled together. And what you do is, like you might have either 3 videos or you might have 5 videos. So I know our spring arrangements class or bundle is 5 videos, and those are all just $10, like the bundles. So it's basically $10, about $3 a video, which is the cheapest I've ever sold a video, and it's not because they are of bad value. I chose the ones that were the most popular from our Wreath of the Month Club vault, because a lot of our Wreath of the Month Club members actually purchase them in order to save them so that they can access them even after they have left the group. So these are really good tutorials. Never done this before. Black Friday sale. Or you could buy the whole lot of them and get 2 for free. So there's options. But that's our Black Friday sale. It ends tomorrow. Okay, so if you're wanting to learn step-by-step strategy on wreath making, as well as more information on the principles and elements, we incorporate all of that in our tutorials. We were just talking about line, we were talking about form. That's what I mean, the principles and elements. If you incorporate principles and elements of your crafts, no matter what you're making, a painting or an arrangement or a wreath, you're going to have a more harmonious, less chaotic look, one that's going to be very harmonious. Is that a word? Gives you harmony. I'm just taking this pine and I'm dividing it up. I really wish I meant to bring over my Norfolk pine. Oh well. We'll figure it out. I think I'm going to keep some of these long. All right, now I'm just going to start. We have glue. Oh, I forgot to turn my camera on. You might not be able to see my glue pot. I forgot to turn it on. I have a glue pot. It's melted all my glue. Now, if you don't have a glue pot, you can obviously use like a glue gun. Nothing wrong with that. I've used glue guns for many, many years. There it comes. All right, so here's my glue pot. I'm just going to dip it in my glue. I did just put some glue in here, but I want to make sure it's of the honey consistency, so it's just, this is almost a little too loose, so I'm going to just back it down a little bit. So you're wanting that honey consistency, okay? That's what I like to use. And then I'm going to start adding around the bow area. Okay, there's one. Hey, Jenny, yes, it is a steal. It is actually our biggest and best Black Friday deal that we've literally ever done. And it's only available for a week, so it ends tomorrow. But we do teach so many different styles of wreath making. And why did I do it that way? Because I just want everybody to have an opportunity. For whatever reason, some people have just not had the opportunity yet to learn from us. We have our coaches' designs on there, as well as my designs. But for whatever reason, some people have just, they haven't been able to take advantage of what we offer for teaching at a higher level. And so I'm like, let's do this. Let's do it for Black Friday. Everybody's having, issues with, for whatever reason, prices are a little high for stuff, and they're maybe not wanting to spend a lot of money to invest in themselves, right? Which is so important. But, you know, you prioritize, and a lot of times we are all, you know, we are not the first priority. So this way, there's just a way for you to, you know, invest in yourself with a little purchase, less than what you buy for a coffee or lunch, right? And it's a craft. Y'all, I have gotten into wreath making. When I first got into it, it was for my own home, just to make something really pretty. I wasn't wanting to impress anyone, but I wanted it to be over the top pretty, okay? I just like that look. God made me a certain way. He made you a certain way. You like certain things and you don't know why, right? I can't help it. I like expensive looking things. However, I just couldn't afford it with my husband being the only income earner. And so when I first started, I was basically making for my home just to give me that high-end look without the high-end price tag. Am I right? Who else has started that way? See, I'm working around the bows, adding these. Then my neighbors were like, hey, can you make me a wreath? And I was like, huh? Like, I never thought anybody would want my wreaths or want me to make something for them. Never occurred to me. Then I was like, sure. So I started making wreaths for my neighbors. I created myself a website. Before you know it, people off the internet were buying from me. I didn't know me. And I was like, well, maybe I can actually make something out of this. Maybe I can do something with this. I'm going to start working towards the sides now. And then all it took is one lady in our neighborhood, and she said, her name was Stacy, and she said, have you ever sold on Etsy? And I'm like, what is that? What is that sorcery you speak of, Etsy? I'd never heard of it. Of course, this was way many years ago. And so I'm like, oh, let me look into that. And so I started learning Etsy and how to use it, and started selling wreaths there, started selling wreaths on my website. A lot of it was self-taught. And I remember the frustration of that, trying to figure it out. Not only like how to make the bow, right, and where to place the flowers, but how to make a website, how to create a Facebook page, how to do email marketing and social media marketing, and how to get the word out about all the things that I'm offering. And I had to teach myself. There was nobody around that taught that kind of stuff. So once I started figuring it out, that's when I was like, I'm going to start teaching. I want to teach people how to do what I've learned. And I created my first ebook. It was called Learn Deco Mesh Wreath Design. We taught a specific style wreath called Deco Mesh. Back then, nobody was making them. Maybe one or two people, not many. And so I started making them, and I started teaching because everybody was looking at them. They wanted them. They weren't wanting them. They were coming to my website, but they weren't buying. And that's when God just gave me a little drop, a download. I call it a little download, an intuition, if you will, and said, they're coming to you for inspiration. And I was like, what? They want to learn? They like what I'm making, and they're trying to make their own? And so I've tried to figure out how I could help them, and that's when I created my ebook. I'm going to do one down here. Do you see how I'm just kind of mixing it in? And it taught the deco mesh. It also was able to create a community of other people who were making deco mesh wreaths. So it was really fun. Back then, it was not even a Facebook group. It was a forum. Who is old enough to remember forums? Okay, I like that. I think I might go grab one more. Yeah, but we were a forum, and then we started to get people interested. More and more people were interested, but some people didn't know how to use a forum. It was kind of bulky to upload photos. And about that time is when Facebook came around, Facebook groups. I mean, Facebook was around, but Facebook groups. Hey, Miss Patty. You're welcome, Leslie. So then I started, you know, they wanted to know how to ship a wreath. And I was like, oh, y'all don't know how to do that? Well, let me show you. And then it was, you know, how do you set up a Facebook page? And, well, let me show you. And how do you do this? And how do you do that? And so I was showing them all in this group. And then they wanted to learn how to make a swag wreath. And they wanted to learn how to make a lantern topper. Of course, some of these things they asked me, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm going to go figure it out. And I figured it out, and I showed them. And so little by little, I just grew to be a teacher and a design coach. Still kind of crazy for me to think about, because this is never the direction I anticipated, but God knew. God had other plans. And then my husband lost his job. And I was like, guess what? I gotta quit playing around with ribbon. And let's get serious, and let's go find a job that pays health insurance, right? I was like, okay, enough is enough. And I couldn't find a job, even though I had taught myself all about marketing. And I was doing really well with it. Nobody wanted to hire me. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do. So I prayed. Anybody do that? You just like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to pray. Put it out, put it up, put it up and put it out, and let God be in control of it and figure it out for me, because I can't. Well, it came to me in the form of an email. I did not plan on telling my story, but I'm going to tell it. It came in the form of an email, my answer to my prayer. So don't think that God doesn't answer you. He does, but you've got to be on the lookout for it. You've got to notice it when it happens. If you are looking for it, you'll know. You'll know it's an answer. For me, it's usually a feeling that I get, but it has been at times a picture in my head. Sometimes, and also another time it was audible in my ear, the answer. But majority of the time it's that feeling of something will, I don't know, I get like goosebumps or tingling, or I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, oh my gosh, that was for me. And it was an email that came into my email box, and it basically said, do not let your business go. And I was like, okay, I get you, God. That's for me. I'm just going to go all in to this little wreath business that I had already started to figure out. And I did. And years later, here I am. Oh, isn't that pretty? It's starting to look real, isn't it, with this greenery? This is just artificial cedar. I'm going to do one down here, I think. So you can take your, this is an evergreen wreath, the wreath base that we started with. I know a lot of people call it Christmas wreath if you're just starting out. But if you're looking for them online, they're called evergreen. Also called PVC wreaths. I have this little piece that I'm just going to save these little pieces, and I can put them into the bow loops later. All right, see how we're doing this? Isn't that pretty? You could put this artificial stuff in your Christmas trees too, y'all. All right, now we're moving on to the next greenery style. But with business, growing a business comes the mindset that has to happen in order to scale. It's one thing to get started. You got to have a lot of nerve, if you think about it, a lot of courage to start a business from scratch. So many people are excited about that part of it, right? And then they might make a couple of sales. It kind of flames the excitement more. But what happens is something happens normally with any business is you'll hit this dip. It's called a dip. Things are going good until they're not. Law of polarity, opposites, right? Whatever goes up goes down kind of thing. And they don't know that that's what's happening. And so they get frustrated and they quit. They quit literally right on the cusp of greatness. And then there's some who start and they don't realize that with the making, you've got to do just as much marketing on it. In order to get your product seen. Just giving these a little bend. Okay, I see a couple of holes on the screen. So we could go up here with this one. These are the shorter ones. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Karen, I got your ebook. That's how she got started, Karen, and now you're looking at quitting your 9 to 5. So close, girl, so close. Wow. She's doing amazing with craft shows. Y'all should go check her out. Hey, Karen, put your link in here for them so that they could go learn from you for their craft shows. If you want to sell at craft shows, that's what she does. That's her specialty, making 5 figures at all the craft shows that she does. So she's doing pretty much what I did. She's teaching her specialty. Hey, Miss Kathy. Yes, Jessica, you're welcome. Everybody has a story. That's what makes us unique. There's nothing, we're all of divine spirits, right? All of God, from God. We all have our different things in our life that have transpired. Some positive, some negative, but it's all our own story. That's what makes us so unique. God wants us to tell our story. A lot of times people don't know that I, at one point, was on government assistance for taking care of my children. I couldn't afford immunizations, couldn't afford formula. They see me now and they think that I have always been, like this, because they see me on my boat, in my, house, and when I decorate it for Christmas, and they just assume, people just assume things about you. But that's not the case. It's through mine and my husband both, hard work and dedication to making a better life for our kids and our family. Okay, I'm just still working around the bow. Just gonna put that one there. I'm trying to get some like billowing effect from that big bow. Tanya says, yay, she purchased 3 of our bundles yesterday and joined our group. Yes, awesome. Yay! Welcome, Tanya, to our community. Yeah, Karen is the best. She was on our Wreath Makers live stage this year. Isn't that cool, too? That is just so amazing. Is that not amazing? So Karen purchased my ebook, and then this year was on the stage of Wreath Makers Live from everything that she had figured out, learned either from us or on our own. But that is just so amazing. You guys, you can do anything you want to when you put your mind to it. Honestly. There is room for everyone to be successful. Don't think that there is a limitation with competition. I know a lot of people who are new to wreath making or this industry think that there's a lot of people who are doing this. There are more people doing it than when I started, for sure. However, when you think like that, that is your poverty mindset instead of abundant and growth mindset. There is enough of anything and everything to go around. You have to believe it. Once you start believing it, it starts transpiring in your life and showing up. I am a testament to that. I had to do the same thing to grow my own business, to shift my own mindset. I mean, I came from basically poverty, like I said. Not just my mindset. Well, I mean, your mindset, yeah. Because what you think is what you attract. Okay. Now I'm going to do a little bit more of this long needle pine on the bottom. And I want it to go this way and then this way. So I think I'm going to angle these a little bit further back. Karen, post your link. I didn't see it. Maybe I just can't see it on the monitor. You're probably looking. I've got this streaming in 3 Facebook groups, I think. So you're probably watching on one. And y'all, if you just ask, even if you're watching on replay, let me know. I'll come back in and I'll share her link if you missed it. But it's launching. She's actually starting a new class. When is that, Karen? Not next week, because that's Thanksgiving. Who is blown away by that? I still cannot. If y'all are watching from the States, I mean, not from the States, we're in the States. We have, we're celebrating our Thanksgiving next week. And I can't believe it. Like, time has flown by. Evelyn's been learning for 40 years and still learning tidbits here and there. Yes, you can never stop learning. Never stop learning and never stop growing your mind. When you stop learning, you start dying. A lot of people, what happens when they retire? At first, they're having fun on the golf course, doing the things that they didn't have time to do before, but then something else starts to happen. They start to fade a little bit. Never stop learning, y'all. Never. Pick something that you love. For me, I love learning about positive mindset. So I'm always reading books. I love learning about being a good businesswoman. So I'm reading books about that. I love learning to be a good boss. Read books about that. I love floristry. I read books about that. All right, y'all. My goodness. This is really pretty. I feel like there might be a little bit more right here we need. I'll do one more. Okay, I feel like that's good. And then I do still have a couple of extra. These are the ones that I cut short that I can just come back in and fill in with holes. Right. Yep. Okay, right now, let's figure this out. Okay, I have a couple of options. I have ornaments that I'm brought over. It is wedding, I know, but it's also the holidays. So I've got that I could add, but I also have white. Oh my goodness, the options, the options. I do like that. At first I wasn't going to like it, and I like it. So this would, if you wanted to do white ornaments, you could. But I honestly feel like these, does that not scream like wedding? The phase that I'm in now is some buy, but more tell me how beautiful it is. Well, that's reassuring, isn't it? In my opinion, that is God's little nudge to not give up. Maybe they're not the ones to buy from you. That person's not there yet. I think a lot of people think that whenever people see it, they should automatically buy. When you go shoe shopping, do you buy the first things you look at, the first shoes you try on? I mean, good grief, when I was getting ready for my son's wedding, I tried on so many different shoes. And all of them were pretty. I loved them. They weren't the right ones for me. This is the same thing with our products. People, when you're new to this, you assume that it's going to be always a yes, and that's not how it works. So there's going to be some no's. That's part of sales. But for people to say that they're pretty, I want you to think about that for a second. Because if it wasn't pretty, they wouldn't say anything. So you should look at that as something positive. Instead of the way you're looking at it is, why didn't they buy it then? That's not how it works. All right, y'all, before I'm going to commit, I'm just playing around with some placements. That is pretty big. That's a big flower. That's no problem, Tanya. My wedding ceremony was at a church around Christmas, so my wedding was already decorated. Well, isn't that one? That was a smart call for you. All right, let's figure this out. I got to think. I'm going to look for balance, deciding where to put these. I only have 2. I don't want to add more than that. Okay, that's too much. Let me just replace them, replace the ornaments. I might just go back to only using the ornaments. Yeah, I'm going to use the ornaments. I'm not going to use these. These just are too big. The scale is off. So even though I cut them, don't stress, because these can go in another wreath, they can go in an arrangement, they can go in my Christmas tree. All right, now let's put the ornaments on. We're committed to the ornaments. This customer has already purchased, so she's already told me what she wants, and I am filling that order. I'm going to try to get this one done so I can ship it tomorrow. Let's see. I like my ornaments to be nestled in, and also not necessarily with that seam showing. There's that one. Just a little peekaboo. These ornaments are pre-wired, so that's really fun. Saves me a lot of time with my wreath making efforts. Okay. There, that's better. Just didn't like the seam showing on that one. It looks pretty. We got our 2 ornaments there. I'm trying to make sure they don't look like eyeballs too. All right, now, what do we have? Just gonna fill in with a little more gold and white. Oh, I do have these. Do I want these? Oh, wow. Now we talking. There's that. And then I also have a little bit of the Norfolk pine. I actually like this better. That was from another wreath. I'm going to start putting some of this in as well. Isn't that fun? It does look elegant. This is a very elegant style. Okay, these are massive. It is dipped in so much plastic that it makes it very thick to cut, but very pretty if you just want to drop it at a vase. Like, I bought so much of this that I'm just going to drop in vases at my house. Look at that. And it comes in green or the white. But how much fun is that going to be just to intermingle both of them at the same time? Well, here gives you a little idea when you mix these together. Isn't that fun? Like, just think about that. Y'all, you could decorate with silk flowers so many ways, not just wreath making or arrangements, right? You can just quickly plop stuff in vases and be ahead of the game. Right, here is our little pieces. I'm just going to start pulling these apart if I can. Sometimes I can. Nope, I'm going to cut. These are really... What other questions do you have? Oh, wait. It's like icing on the cake, says Jacinta. I think that's how you say your name. Do you make all of your wreaths by order? Oh, no, Brenda, we put some on our Etsy shop. I very rarely take an order now. 99% of what I make is what I've taught. The tree behind me is what I taught. All of these arrangements behind me are designs that we teach. So we are a silk flower school, if you will. And then we have what we've made, we put on our Etsy shop. So isn't that interesting that I started my business with custom orders in my Etsy shop and now hardly ever take a custom order. The reason I took this one was she showed me a wreath that she was interested in, of one that I already had made demoed for our Wreath of the Month Club group. And she wanted one similar, but without, ours had black in it. So she didn't want, that's what I keep looking over there to see how I did it so I can kind of emulate the style of it. But she liked the style, but not the color black. She wanted whites and greens. And I was like, you know what, I could do that. It's a wedding. I know I already have the supplies. Plus I just made it, so it's not something I have to go buy and hunt and look for. 9 times out of 10, that's the hardest part for a custom wreath, is just getting the supplies lined up after you know what they want. And that's why I'm like, I can't do that anymore. I just don't have time. Maybe one day when I have some more designers working here at the warehouse, we'll be able to incorporate that. But for right now, it's just me here, designers. We have an office manager. Ooh, man, I am loving this. Have you ever seen the white Norfolk pine? It is very elegant. Yes, very grand and elegant for wedding. That's what she wants. Okay. Let's see if we want one right through here. Thank you, Leslie. All right, now I'm going to bring some of that over this way. Oh, goodness, y'all. I can't believe I forgot to change the camera angle. Thank you, Carla. Here, you can see I'm just incorporating these throughout. Thanks, Carla, for telling me. Sometimes when you're a one-woman videographer, you got to do the mic and the camera and the technology. And I always use the 2-inch picks, Melissa. Okay, we've got one that's a little longer. Don't forget under your bows. We'll do a couple more. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. You guys, if you're watching on TikTok, thank you for watching. Make sure to give us a follow. I'm trying to grow our TikTok channel. Also, if you comment and like, and it gives me the analytics that I can look back on and see which videos worked best so that I know which ones to do more of. Okay, I need a little more there. I'm going to do one back here. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to give us a subscribe and hit the bell, then you're notified when we do another live. Lorianne, our design coach from Wreath of the Month Club, she goes live on Tuesdays, and I do anywhere from, I do either Wednesdays, Thursdays, or Fridays. I try not to do Fridays because that's really a busy day for me. I don't know, do I want that there or not? Maybe shorter. But we do try to do at least 2 on YouTube, 2 videos a week. Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh. I'm getting all the feels. Thank you for sharing. You guys are amazing. You got your steel pick machine off of Etsy, Brenda? That's neat. All right, now we're going to add in a little more gold. So this is one I already cut, and so I'm going to go ahead and divide this up. I don't think I'm going to use this one. I think we got enough green. You guys, when you're creating your wreaths and your Christmas trees or your garlands at home, don't forget you can put additional greenery in there, okay? Even your fresh greenery, your fresh trees. Gosh, I can't speak. Even if you have an artificial tree, you can put fresh greenery in it. But just know it's going to die. So if you're like me and you're waiting to the last minute to put your tree up this year, then don't hesitate to put like fresh pine. You have that smell, but the artificial tree, you can also put fresh pine in your garlands too. What if you have a fresh tree and then you have an artificial garland? Just cut some of your tree and put it in your garland. It'll make it match. It'll bring over that same color green. The other thing you could do is, if you have a fresh tree, incorporate more fresh branches. I learned that's what they do at the Biltmore house when they have those huge trees. You know, they're all fresh, and you're like, how did they get such perfect trees? Well, they didn't. They got the trees like we all do that have holes in them, and then they get these other branches, maybe another tree, that they either put on the base of it to make it fuller, or they'll cut the branches off. I think, okay, before I start cutting too much, I think I'm going to use what we have here. All right, now we're going to add these. It looks like the internet dropped. Are we back? Okay, I'm going to go over this way. See how I'm just mixing that in? right, now I'm going to come over this way. Let's do one that's not so big. Just going to give these a little space so that I just want these to pepper throughout. I'm going to cut this one. Tanya, the machine that I'm using to put my metal picks is called a steel pick machine. It's what florists use for quick making. You can, you don't necessarily need it. You can always use a wooden floral pick. That's how I got started was with wooden. We have a tutorial on that in our on our blog. The wooden, actually both of them. Just go to southerncharmwreaths.com, and don't forget when y'all are visiting our websites to check out our Black Friday sale. It ends tomorrow. Your opportunity to get our best video tutorials that are detailed, way more so than what we do on our social media accounts and YouTube. I mean, I know you guys love what we do on our YouTube channel, but these are big, detailed, where to get supplies. Some of them have kits that you could purchase. They're all bundled together. So it basically is about it comes out to about $3 a tutorial, just so that everybody can have an opportunity to learn from us. Okay, I think I'm good with that. Look. Do we need something in the, up here maybe? What else do I have to add? Oh yeah, I've got a couple more things. All right. I also have my green leaves. I forgot about those. I might add, I might not. And then I have these. Right, Pauline, how much I can glue into a base? Oh, absolutely. So have you made a grapevine wreath yet? You can glue way more in a grapevine wreath, in my opinion. So for these wreaths with the evergreen Christmas wreath base, you can glue a lot, but they're gonna stay closer to the base. So more of a compact wreath, even though this style is a little bit more not necessarily compact, but usually you can't put heavy branches on them like you can a grapevine wreath. These are all lightweight. Trying to decide if I want to do my velvet leaves or not. I don't think I am. All right, now we're gonna add these. These are more airy. Let's do this one down here. Y'all think my customer's gonna love this one? Put the leaves in the right of the bow. Just felt like the colors of the leaves were a little off. Over here, if you put it on the right, you got to put it on the left. Okay. Hey, Sue, thank you. All right, I'm going to go here with this one. Okay, now we're going to come down this way. And then maybe one underneath. To bring that gold down there. And then let me just take a step back. Wow. This is so pretty. I love that. Okay, maybe one more white up at the top. Sort of the back to bring a little depth in. I do have these. I was trying to incorporate these because they look so elegant, but they're going to also be too much. They're going to be too white. They're going to bring out, that's like the first thing you won't be able to see anything else after that. Okay, so from here what we could do is we can add any more ribbon that we need. I'm going to make sure I could see my elegant ribbon. Let's do one more streamer of that. Adding this, I'm not sure yet, maybe. All right, where's my elegant ribbon? My jewels. This has got the jewels on it. Let's see if I'll be able to put a pick on this. It's got so many jewels on it. Wow, this is fancy stuff right here. We're going to do that one right there. Okay, grab my scissors. All right, I want it to be right about here, and then I know that I need to coil it a little bit, so I think I'm going to cut right here around all my jewels. Okay, and then let's do one on the other side. I'm just going to try to get some of these jewels off. There it comes. To reveal a little more ribbon. So now that you've heard of a wedding wreath, who is going to make of them? Where do you put a wedding wreath? You put them on the front door of the bride and groom, put them on the front door of the reception. That's what this lady's doing. She's having a reception at her home for the bride and groom. All of the colors are green and white, and she needed a wreath to go on the door, and I am happy to oblige. Okay, here is where we're going to come over this way. This ribbon is so heavy. I'm just going to make sure that that is good and secure in there. Okay, and then we can roll this. And then I'm going to move this one up front so we can see it a little bit better. And we've got that one. Okay, that looks good. And then we need something else right here. I think I'm going to put that ribbon. Just finishing up the little touches. To me, it really just elevates it a little bit more. Ooh. Okay. Now, the ribbon up close, yeah, I already showed it. Let me show you it again. It's very heavy because of all the jewels. All right, so now what we're going to do, okay, there is still a little place, like right here. If I wanted to put another loop, this is a little tricky to work with because of the, I could do another little loop right here. Only thing is it's very tricky and heavy. I think that would close that in. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, just peel this away. Just keep going a little bit more. Look, you could decorate some Christmas wrap with that, couldn't you? How am I going to add this? Give me a minute to think. I'm going to get a wooden floral pick. So what size boxes do I ship in? I ship in the box sizes that fit the wreath. This is a 20, this will be, end up being a, started with a 24. It's probably going to be more like a, almost 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, maybe 28. Y'all, don't laugh at my math now. I love how you add the ribbon tails later in the design. I know, isn't that so pretty? It's just another, y'all, it's all about the layering. But there's also a lot to consider, right? You have to consider the spacing of the elements you're adding, your line that you've established. The whole time I'm designing, I'm keeping in mind the eye flow, your eye flowing. So, there's been studies done when people walk into a grocery store, they go to a certain direction. Majority of the people, not everybody, but the majority of the people go in a certain direction. And so your eye flows to a certain area and you can guide it with your elements that you add. And if you already know it goes in a certain direction, just help it along the way. Don't force a different direction. Or else you're going to get confusion. We don't want confusion in our wreath making. Fran says it's time to stop. Fran. I can't believe it. Telling me what to do. All right. Whoop. Don't drip the glue on the pretty ribbon, Julie. All right, that's perfection. Right now, we already have that long streamer, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this one shorter. Okay. Fluff anything that I messed up. Trying to decide if I want this a little shorter. Nope, I think I'm good. But let me angle it around a branch just to hold it in place. Okay, I think we're good now. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Now the other little things, these I'm going to go put in my bow loops. These are just little pieces that were left over. And what that's going to do is this is going to help pull that green wreath in closer to my bow. And I can use some of them to hide any florist wire that might be showing. The little touches right here. This is why I save some of my longer pieces, my little pieces. You could go back and watch the beginning of this. Y'all, if you enjoy this, I know we don't go live very much here on YouTube or Facebook designing, but we do this very regularly in our Wreath Making of the Month Club group. We do have it is closed to new members right now. The only way to access it is through our Black Friday sale. So you can get some of our favorite designs to keep, and you'll be able to access the back end of our group and join. But you're going to want to join before next year, because we're going to go up in prices. We've added another designer. Actually, we've got two designers that we've added. All right, that looks good. So we're going live, I want to say what, 1, 2, 3. We also have what we call Mechanics Monday. So all we do is focus on mechanics. That's it. Nothing else. One little thing. Like one was all about the steel pick machine. One was how to add foam onto a candle base. What else? We have different ways of using ribbon hangers in a wreath. Okay, I think we're good now. Just fluff everything and shape it before you take your photos. Woo, girl. She is getting her money's worth for this one. For show. Love it. Wow, that's so pretty. Group is amazing. Thank you so much. I absolutely love this one. You love Mechanics Monday. Yay! Can you watch the replays? Yes, you can. Everything that we do in our Wreath of the Month Club group is recorded. We put it in an online portal. You can join it either on Facebook, or you can log into the portal and access the tutorials that way. But we have an extensive library where you can search Mechanics Monday, or click the button Mechanics Monday, or you can search Christmas or click the button Christmas, or you can search poinsettia, and everything with a poinsettia will come in. So everything is there. It also pulls in information from our blog. So it's one place that just brings everything together for our members. Thank you guys so much. So here is our link. If you go to southerncharmwreaths.com and click the big yellow bar on the front homepage, there's a place to access our Black Friday bundles. But if you're on TikTok, you just click the link in our bio, and that will also get you to our Black Friday videos. Remember, they're $3 a piece. You could buy the whole bundle and save and get 2 for free, or you can purchase bundles one at a time. One-offs, I mean. You're welcome, Pauline. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was so much fun. I'm still not 100% on that ribbon, so I might edit it. I might adjust it after the video is over when I get it up on the door for photos. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. Remember to follow us, okay? And thank you for commenting and hearting and loving, because this keeps our content in front of you for all of the algorithms on the social media accounts. Thank you so much for being here, a part of my journey, listening to my story, and thank you for being part of our wreath making community. You guys are so amazing. I didn't tell anybody this but our members, but we were able to donate $20,000 to charity this year. $20,000. How great is that? We gave $15,000 to an orphanage and $5,000 to our local food bank, and it was all because of you guys. And I am just so honored to be a part of it and to be included in God's path for my purpose, in order to deliver you guys what you need for your wreath making success or your business success. And then we're also able to give back to the community. It is so rewarding and so fulfilling, and it just fills my love tank so much to know that I came from a place of needing government assistance for taking care of my children, to being able to donate in that capacity blows my mind. And thank you all so much for being a part of this journey with us, okay? I hope y'all, if I don't see y'all before Thanksgiving here in the States, y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll probably be back the week after Thanksgiving. We're giving our team a little bit of a breather and a break because we've been doing a lot for Black Friday sales, and then serving our members too. So we're going to give them a little break next week, but then we'll be back right after that, okay? Bye, guys. Thank y'all so much for joining me.